Hello, y'all. I'm back. So I hope it doesn't bother y'all. It's 5:03 p.m. I hope it doesn't bother y'all of me running the water. I'm running the water. I don't know how long I'm supposed to run it for, but at least it'll block out noise for the moment. But I'm running the water to you know how they say after you pour bleach down the drain that you have to let it. I don't remember how long they said to do it for because I've been homeless for so long, so I forgot, how long I should let the water run to drain out. I mean to after you put bleach down the toilet and let it sit for a few hours. Or I don't remember how long you're supposed to let it sit, but I'm hoping this is what I mean. I've heard some people say that's one tactic, and I'm still gonna try the other tactic too to try to see about how to get rid of, how to get rid of the gnats and stuff. But me having my stuff up in here, like the gnats, I don't even know if I can fully get rid of them because they hide insert some of my bag inside some of my bags. So I gotta inspect and try to make sure all the gnats are out of my bag or whatever. So I'm glad I was able to get to vent and rant the past couple of videos about what I've been experiencing and exposing my gang stalking experiences and what I've been going through and everything. But I heard some people say that it has been warm and humid, and it's mid-December right now, and is it like 3 days away from winter? So but it's not really hot. I bet you it probably ain't, the beach water probably ain't even hot, warm enough to get in, but the weather has been warm enough that you can still wear shorts. So I just stepped outside for the first time throughout the whole day, probably about 10 or 15 minutes ago, and I stepped outside and it was already getting dark, and it seemed like it was pretty warm. Well, not it was far from cold outside. So I don't even know if I can find another way or another outlet to do my writing. And I guess it'll be just strictly nonfiction from now on. But I'm trying to figure another platform I can go on and say if I can find another platform where I can expose my writings, but then block any access from with the online gang stalkers. I mean, block any access that they have, like any opening that they have, close every door to their demonic witchcraft harassment. So everything dirty that they're doing, they reverse it on me. So I mean, it seems like I mean, I don't want to continue going back and forth with the online perps and stuff like that. And so, I've been trying to close every door I could. But I hate when people, closed minded, judgmental, narcissistic people, they feel like, well, if you don't, they feel like one instance of abuse means you should stay off the internet forever. And I think abuse victims have a right to use the internet without being abused. But then they try to make it like, oh, well, you put yourself out there, or you put yourself in a position and you allow that to happen or whatever, which is not the case. But anyway, um, so in one of the previous videos that I did talking about that Semi Williams Jr. guy, there was another. Um, yeah, I'm wondering also if that was a setup or if that was an MK Ultra psyop or what was going on. What if he was what I don't know. What if he was totally innocent? So, but if he wasn't innocent, then you know, I don't know what to say. If he really was guilty, but I'm trying what I can to keep myself sane, and you know, I need Jesus. We all do need Jesus Christ, and to prevent ourselves from snapping and going off. So they have these talks with certain targeted individuals, real or fake. Sometimes real, sometimes fake ones say it too, So they feel like certain people feel like targeted individuals shouldn't be thinking about their gang stalking 24/7, and that they should just go out and enjoy life. But um or they feel like if your mind is constantly thinking about gang stalking all the time, that's what make you lose your mind and go crazy. But the thing is, I know my personal experience that I do try to take my mind off of gang stalking, and try to make attempts at doing and saying, doing things to make me happy, like the writing, and trying to go to the beach, eat a nice meal, or I really can't do that much. I don't have the money to get to do that much. But the gang stalkers, the narcissistic gang stalkers, block us from doing things we enjoy. So I mean, I have tried to do something like take a personal small little day trip somewhere, and the gang stalkers will set it up to where the gang stalkers will set it up to where as punishment for me trying to treat myself to as punishment for me to try to treat myself to doing something nice like going to the beach. I deserve as a punishment, you know, to have to end up being stranded. And so it's like I was I mean that happened last year, I think, a lot of the times. And it's like I was wondering, well, is this a message to not go to the beach, or they want to try to punish me from going to the beach? I have a right to go to the beach, if that makes me happy. I mean, if the gang stalkers constantly have us on their mind and they don't want to leave us alone, but then we targeted individuals are supposed to ignore everything they do to us. But then when we take our mind or focus off the gang stalking, that's when um I don't know about others, but that's when you try to take your mind off of it, and then next thing you know, you end up. I mean, it's basically you're caught off guard when the gang stalkers do something to destroy you. So I mean, I know we have to focus on Jesus Christ and everything, but at the same time, I know we have to be vigilant. We do have to be vigilant, and keep our eyes open for their tactics on what they're trying to do to us. Just like certain targets have been murdered, but guess what? I mean, have murdered others, but guess what? There are more targeted individuals who have been murdered than targeted individuals who have murdered somebody. You know. So the majority of us, and I heard that it's their objective to try to drive us to commit suicide, but I don't know that many targets that actually committed suicide. But I've heard about just like the Hollywood entertainment industry, these celebrities. Um, if you let me turn this water off. So I guess 10 minutes is enough. Um, I guess 10 minutes is enough. But oh, my heart is beating kind of fast for some reason. But they have I got the lights turned off so I won't have to see the damn gnats and fight them. So forgive me for having the light turned off. But I don't want this video to be like an hour, 2 hours, or 3 hour long, even though I'm on my laptop. But I'm just saying on my personal input on people saying that if they try to make it like as if we targeted individuals walk around looking. I mean, they make it like as if we walk around looking for gang stalkers to film and record to prove our point. And I guess I'm guilty of that. Because I get sick and tired of being discredited and for nobody to believe me and for me to be persecuted even more and me to have no support system. I also think, I mean, I feel like having no support system, I think that would make any TI. I mean, that's what I feel like a support system. I think a Christian based support system should be. I mean, I really think that. I mean, I think that the targeted individual community. I think the targeted individual community needs and we need for not the big top popular fakes like Karen Melton Stewart and Targeted Justice and any of those people, or the popular fake TI perks. We don't want or need any of them. We need, like, come on, man. We need pretty much us Christian targets who are sincerely targeted and suffering Christian persecution due to our targeting. We all need to have like our own Christian based crisis hotline or support group, like a Christian based crisis hotline, like a prayer line or something like that. Um, a prayer line or like a crisis hotline or a prayer line, or if you just want somebody to talk. I mean, I don't even know how I could go about doing it. But then again, I don't even have advice for people. I'm the one who always needs the advice. But if they had any sincere Christian based or Bible believing targeted individuals who can be like strong prayer warriors who can but then there'll always be some infiltrators, so that's why something like that probably couldn't even be successful. There always end up being some infiltrators who, narcissistic control freak fake TI perps who will hijack and take over, this possible thing. Like, even if somebody was to go on, if somebody was to do like a live YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, or whatever support group or Facebook support group, um, like a live group meeting, a live social media group meeting or something like that. That way, if targeted individuals can, talk to each other and but they do have some targeted conferences, but like some targeted individual phone conferences, but I don't think they're Christian based or Christ centered, like Jesus Christ centered or anything like that. And so this is more like spiritual warfare. It's a spiritual thing. And I think, not having Jesus Christ as your backbone, I think is, and also not having any, but I know we have to focus mainly on Jesus Christ first. God comes first. But I don't think that targets should be punished with being. We're already punished with what we got to go through, but then being punished with being silent about everything and just holding everything in. To be forced to hold all your emotions and feelings in. I mean, I know bottling up all your feelings. I know that's good. I mean, that's not good. That's not good to hold in everything. But as I said, you try to get a job or anything good you try to do, the gang stalkers sabotage it. So how do we combat that? How do we um combat or counteract um how do we combat or counteract the gang stalkers sabotaging our happiness? And these are the same perps who try to narcissistic perps who try to say that you're miserable and you enjoy being miserable and taking everyone down with you, when that's not true. That's not the case. You try to strive for happiness, you do what makes you happy, and you try to get a job. You can't even get to do what you like to do. It's like you only can do what they want for you to do. And then they just blame everything on you, the victim. So, if I mean, I told y'all a day or two ago about doing a video. I would in a video I told y'all about how I tried as like personal therapy to I tried personal therapy. Tried as a personal therapy to take up some gardening classes and canning and preserving. And I couldn't be successful with that and was driven to quit because everybody was a gang stalker and nobody wanted to help me out when I was stuck or lost or needed help. And so I had to give up my plot at the garden because nobody really wanted to help me, when I was in Los Angeles. So I was, I try to take up, a hobby that would try to make me happy. So then, like the narcissistic abusers would do stuff like get mad at me if I were to talk about. Of course, I'm not allowed to talk about gang stalking, and I'm not allowed to do things that make me happy or even talk about what makes me happy either. They get mad at that too. So even if I'm quiet and doing or saying nothing, they got a problem with that too. But I'm the one who always complains so much. So I wonder why does the background on my phone, I'm sorry, the background on my computer keeps switching back and forth between black, red, and blue. That's what it looks like on my end. Even though I'm in the dark, but it seems like everything, it keeps on switching between red, blue, and black. But so people would try to tell me, well, they would automatically falsely assume that all my research, like a few years ago, like about maybe 7 or 6 years ago, they would get mad at me and think, oh, they think all you do is research Illuminati and New World Order 24/7 all day, every day. Or they'd be like, oh, that's all you talk about. But I talk about Christian lifestyle, and I would research Christian lifestyle and talk about and also research like whenever I wasn't talking about because they think you're being positive. They want you to talk about that concert you went to or the movie theater that you went to or the movie that you saw and stuff like that. But like I used to want to talk about Aaliyah all the time and narcissistic abusers, that topic was off limits. I was forbidden or not allowed to talk about Aaliyah, and I was a diehard hardcore fan of her. But then, I didn't know that was considered idolatry. Um, I really didn't have. I wasn't even taught about that, really growing up, but Um, but then, so I wasn't like, I don't know if some of y'all remember me talking about, if I talk about things that make me happy, that narcissistic abusers get mad at that or they try to stop that. So if I talk about swimming, if I talk about if I talk about food or swimming or driving a car or talking about trips and vacation or talk about my research or talk about anything that make me happy, they get mad at that. So, but the thing is, I be trying to go on about my life, and the online gang stalkers, they start and watch my every move pretty much, and have destroyed certain aspects of my real life behind their online gang stalking. I've lost certain jobs behind the online gang stalking. My ebooks have been sabotaged. And so, or they were bullying you out, me being forced to take down my blog and stuff. I was trying to have some humor and some joy in my short fiction short stories and talk about, fictionalized stories about the gang stalking, or even, it wouldn't even have to talk about that. I mean, I could be, writing short stories that talk about families coming together or something like that. And then they think, oh, you're a joke because you don't have no family of your own, ha ha ha, or whatever. So there have been times when a narcissistic control freak fake friend that I would deal with would do something like, if I say something positive and talk about nothing but the good things that I went through that day, and then they'll get mad and cut the conversation, and then I'd be like, well, why did you do that? Oh, because all you talk about is something negative. And I'm like, well, what did I say negative? Oh, start your shit, you hear? And then there's an argument that quickly escalates into a crisis, and then they get violent and put their hands on me. The police get called, and it gets really scary. And then I'll be the only one who be about to be locked up in a mental institution, and then lie and say that, oh, Candy was harassing and bothering me constantly and stuff like that. But they be the ones who trying to start up a conversation with me just to, as my biological brother Wyatt would say, just try to use you and try to pump information out of you. And then I guess once they got what they wanted, then all of a sudden, oh, I'm bothering you, or I'm getting on your nerves, or being aggravating and annoying. The sure wasn't my intent, but this was before I even found out about narcissistic abuse or any of that. Find out about gang stalking, which narcissistic abuse and gang stalking and satanic ritual abuse and all that go hand in hand. So I'm forbidden to talk about natural health and be excited and happy about natural cures. Natural health and natural cures, and survival and prepping. For me to try to talk about Christian lifestyle or survival and prepping or natural cures, oh, that topic is off limits. I'm not allowed to talk about anything, even if it's something positive or great that happened at the beach or something like that. Oh, I'm not allowed to talk about that either. Like, and I remember telling stories on past YouTube videos and channels. Even on my very first channel, I was still living in New Orleans, and I remember doing a video talking about how the foster mom, Adrian Felder, would make threats to knock all my teeth out if I get excited about people's birthday or if I talk about something that makes me happy. And then my twin sister picked up on that trait and started to try to copy and act just like the foster mom. Like I have, and then me and my twin sister would have arguments because she wants to control and dictate the conversation and make like you know, certain topics that I want to talk about is off limits or forbidden. But she'll act totally just strange throughout the whole damn conversation. And then turn around and blame everything on me. It's all your fault we got into this argument and stuff like that. So I mean, I hear about how even online and in person, that we should go no contact with the narcissist and stuff like that. But it seems like certain things that certain actions taken against me and stuff, it's like still I still every now and then feel the need to plead my case or defend myself. Nobody wants to believe I'm truly targeted, and nobody wants to believe that it's my twin sister who's the narc and not me. So yeah, I mean, there are some targeted individuals that talk about to, just say to hell with the gang stalkers and go ahead and live your life and do what you want. But oh, if I were to do something like try to get if I had the money to get a car, me trying to get a car, it's like there will be some setup for the car to break down and have me stranded. Or, I would have to go through some hoops to even, get out of the whatever car trouble that they set me up in as a supposed lesson for me to never go drive again. So just like, I mean, so basically the gang stalkers, if I try to do what makes me happy, they want to try to bully me to learn my lesson of ever again to do XYZ that makes me happy. And then they'd be the first and main ones to throw it in my face about, oh, how you're so miserable and you're such a negative person. Get out my fucking business. And I'm tired of saying that till I'm black and blue in the face. So when I tell you to leave me alone and you don't stop, then you're overstepping my boundaries. And because y'all gang stalkers don't value us TIs, y'all don't value our lives. And then, a lot of people say targeted individuals need to stick together. That targeted individuals need to stick together and get along better. But it seems difficult because there's so much infiltration. Infiltration. So, I'm tired of being 38 years old and being people trying to think they can discipline and handle me like I'm a little child. I'm not a child. And so then they try to have their personal opinion that I don't act my age. But me not acting my age, that's you step away from me and stay away from me. You trying to force control and try to force change me. You're trying to force control and force change me. And that ain't right. For you to try to force control and force change me, and then for me to stand up for the truth and stuff, y'all try to make me out to just look more crazy. Y'all think I deserve to be punished with embarrassment and humiliation, and they want to try to make like as if they're teaching you a lesson or try to force you to learn your lesson and you've done nothing wrong. It's them. And this is just not right. And they're having no consequences for their actions. But I'm tired of the narcissistic lectures about consequences for my actions. Like, people won't see my point of view of why I would get frustrated and just walk off the job. Nobody wants to sit there and deal with abuse from demonic people. So, and I'm wondering why would my twin sister sit there and allow her cult followers to fat shame me and make fat jokes when they don't condemn her about being fat. They don't condemn her about being fat, but they want to insult me. And they praise everything she does, but shun everything I do. And basically think they have the authority and the power to run me off the internet. Just like people in person, they're trying to run me out of society. Like, if I'm living in a certain neighborhood, they want to run me out of the neighborhood. If I have a job, they run me off the job. If I go to church, they run me out of the church, bully me out of church. And for people who say that they're Christian or say that they love the Lord so much and so strongly with all their heart and all their mind and all their soul and everything like that. So, so it's like I never said I was perfect, but if I'm bad enough to not deserve heaven, then what do you think? You really think you really think you deserve better than me? So these people with narcissistic personalities have their nose turned up in the air and really walk around thinking that they are sinless perfection. They really think they're above sinless perfection. Like when Miss Pam from the job tried to tell me about consequences for your actions, then that sounded like holier than thou and self righteousness. Because she damn sure is gonna answer for her some. I mean, at the judgment for some of her sins too. We all are gonna have to answer for our good and bad deeds that we've done on this earth. We're gonna have to answer to a higher God, during judgment. So now they're saying, get our houses in order now, and that we have to that God is separating the wheat from the tares and the sheep from the goats. So I no longer say sheeple anymore, because I heard that the New Agers who claim to be the New Age fake truthers call Christians sheeple as a way to mock when Jesus said, "My sheep hear my voice." Excuse me. So I no longer call the people who are brainwashed and don't into this New Age fake Christianity and don't know the truth. I no longer call them sheeple. But I guess if Satan has his own fake sheep, I guess that's the goats. And then some celebrities get called the GOAT, the goat, or um or the greatest of all time, but also the GOAT. Did y'all know that in Freemasonry they believe in the great architect of the universe? And guess what? The fake IDMR cult, they preach about that too, the great architect of the universe. I heard that has its roots in Freemasonry. So, I'm trying to live my life, but I filmed the gang stalking, because I try to film the gang stalking because whenever I have to go and walk somewhere. But my reason for doing it is for my safety and my protection. I'm a single female by myself with no family, friends, whatever. I'm just all by myself, and I'm trying to, stay safe. And also, you know, people be trying to run over me with their vehicles and stuff, but it seems like, and then I got sick and tired of, people trying to deliberately run over me with their cars when I'm just walking down the streets and then it's always to make it look like I'm really crazy because I'm sitting here trying to be, it's like I'm walking minding my business and the car nearly hit me. And then it was not until like the aftermath I had to press record and put them on film and say, hey, why did you try to run over me with your car? Why did you try to hit me? So then I would rather have that video footage of proof of this bastard trying to run me over on purpose. It's a lot of, and so that's my reason for having a premeditated going outside and ready to film the gang stalkers for my safety and protection. But, I have not, I mean, I can't even really get mail. So I'm trying to figure out how could I get 24-hour spy glasses or spy camera, or try to get some footage and stuff? I'm not all that super great with. I mean, I have minimal technological abilities, but I don't have like technological abilities, if you get what I'm trying to say, So I'm not too tech savvy, but I got some tech knowledge, but not advanced or fancy with the technological, knowledge or whatever. But narcissistic abuser will refuse to want to help me. But if I can get help from a non-narcissistic abuser who would be willing to have patience with me if I needed help, or how do I operate this spy camera right here, or how do I do this, or how do I do that, so or get you some spy glasses. From where? And I mean, I don't know where to go in person to get them, but if I got them off Amazon, I can't get them shipped to me. I told y'all I was forced to miss out on two $25 Uber gift cards that I got from staying in the hotels and motels. I mean the hotels. I was I earned those gift cards for staying in the hotels, and so I was forced to miss out on that mail for $50 worth of Uber gift cards because the Waterfront Mission narcissistic gang stalking cult played with my mail. So at the moment, I'm done rambling on, and I'm done rambling on at the moment, and I said I wasn't gonna go, excuse me, go a whole hour. Excuse me. I said I wasn't gonna go a whole hour with this video, but I'm afraid to. I don't know what would happen if I did try to do a live YouTube video. I don't know what the topic would be if I tried to go live. But other targeted individuals can go live, but the narcissistic perps think they have the authority to dictate that I should not be allowed to go live. They don't want me to appear or exist on an internet at all, period. And the gang stalkers, they talk and act like as if they're hoping that I would someday go away and fuck off and die soon. And so, yeah, they just want us to look as crazy as possible and try to discredit this program. But, this gang stalking is the biggest and best kept secret. So I don't even know if I try to go live, if they had a narcissistic abuser who think I deserve to be punished with nobody to come into my live video. But I mean, I've seen certain videos where somebody went live and I was the only one in the chat. I would be the only one in the chat while they go live. But, nobody condemned them really. But when it comes to me, ha ha ha, that's why nobody want to come into your live. Or when I had my blog, I had to be like, I deal with people being told, oh, that ha ha ha, that's why nobody wants to read your blog. But you stalking and making abusive comments for each and every blog post that I write. So, but I really feel like targeted individuals the TI community should not be a popularity contest. I really think that we all should just come together and support each other, and we need to support each other more rather than choosing who to like and who to hate. But unless you have a valid reason for to not want to associate with another target, if they're so like, for example, if that person is so bossy and controlling, or if they say things that make you feel uncomfortable, then that's one thing, you know. So thanks for listening to me, and I'll see y'all later. It won't.